Right now, as you're watching this video, someone is planning how to manipulate you. Maybe it's an advertisement trying to make you buy something you don't need. Maybe it's a toxic person in your life trying to control your emotions. Maybe it's a social media algorithm designed to keep you scrolling for hours. Here's the terrifying truth. You're being manipulated dozens of times every single day, and most of the time, you have no idea it's happening. But what if you could see through the illusion? What if you could recognize every manipulation tactic the moment someone tries to use it on you? What if you could take back complete control of your own mind? That's exactly what we're doing today. I'm going to show you the dark side of psychology, the manipulation tactics that toxic people, marketers, narcissists, and master persuaders use to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. These are the same techniques used in cults, abusive relationships, high-pressure sales, and political propaganda. Warning: some of this will make you uncomfortable. You'll probably recognize times you've been manipulated. You might even recognize times you've used these tactics yourself. But that's exactly why you need to watch this entire video. Knowledge is your armor. Let's expose the truth. First, let's get crystal clear on what manipulation actually is. Manipulation is the use of psychological tactics to influence someone's behavior or emotions in a deceptive or exploitative way that benefits the manipulator. Here's the key difference. Persuasion is honest. Manipulation is deceptive. When someone persuades you, they present information openly and let you make an informed choice. When someone manipulates you, they're pulling invisible strings, exploiting your vulnerabilities, and making you think their idea was yours all along. The scary part? Manipulators understand human psychology better than most people understand themselves. They know exactly which emotional buttons to push, which cognitive biases to exploit, and how to bypass your logical thinking entirely. Think of your mind like a fortress. Most people build their defenses against obvious attacks, lies, threats, aggression. But manipulators don't attack the front gate. They find the secret tunnels, the hidden weaknesses, the back doors you didn't even know existed. Ready to learn how they do it? Let's dive into the tactics. Gaslighting is psychological warfare. It's when someone manipulates you into questioning your own reality, memory, and sanity. The term comes from a 1944 movie where a husband dims the gaslights in their home, but tells his wife she's imagining it, making her think she's going crazy. Example 1. Toxic relationship. Imagine your partner flirts with someone at a party. You bring it up later and they say, "That never happened. You're being paranoid again. Honestly, I'm worried about you. You're always imagining things that aren't real. Maybe you should talk to someone about your jealousy issues." See what just happened? They didn't just deny it. They made you the problem. They took your legitimate concern and twisted it into evidence of your mental instability. Example 2. The workplace. Your boss asks you to finish a report by Friday. On Friday they say, "I told you I needed this by Wednesday. Were you not paying attention? This is the third time you've missed a deadline." But you know they said Friday. You checked your notes. Yet they're so confident, so authoritative, that you start doubting yourself. The psychology. Gaslighting works because humans are social creatures who reality test against others. When someone we trust consistently contradicts our perception of reality, especially with confidence and authority, our brains start to doubt themselves. Over time, repeated gaslighting destroys your confidence and makes you completely dependent on the manipulator to tell you what's real. Red flags. You're too sensitive. That never happened. You're crazy, paranoid, unstable. Everyone agrees with me, not you. Stop being so dramatic. Protection. Keep records. Trust your gut. If someone makes you feel insane but everyone else thinks you're perfectly reasonable, that person is gaslighting you. Love bombing sounds wonderful, but it's actually one of the most dangerous manipulation tactics. It's when someone overwhelms you with excessive affection, attention, and praise to create rapid emotional dependency, then uses that dependency to control you. Example 1. Romantic relationships. You start dating someone. Within days, they're texting constantly. "You're amazing. I've never felt this way before. You're my soulmate. They shower you with gifts, compliments, and grand romantic gestures. They want to spend every second with you. After 2 weeks, they're talking about marriage. It feels incredible, until it doesn't. Once you're hooked, once you're emotionally addicted to that flood of attention, they pull back. Suddenly they're cold, critical, distant. You're left desperately trying to earn back that amazing feeling, willing to do anything to please them. That's when the real control begins. Example 2. Cults and MLMs. When you join, everyone is incredibly welcoming. You're told you're special, enlightened, chosen. You're invited to events, given constant attention, made to feel like you finally belong. This creates powerful emotional bonds that make it nearly impossible to leave later, even when you see massive red flags. The psychology. Love bombing hijacks your brain's reward system. It floods you with dopamine, the same chemical involved in drug addiction. When that source is suddenly withdrawn, you experience actual withdrawal symptoms. You become addicted to the person and will tolerate increasingly abusive behavior just to get those hits of affection again. Red flags. Too much too fast. Instant soulmate declarations. Constant communication demands, isolating you from friends and family. Grand gestures that feel excessive, making you feel special or chosen. Protection. Take relationships slowly. Be suspicious of anyone who comes on impossibly strong. Real love grows gradually. If it feels too good to be true, it absolutely is. Reciprocity is the psychological principle that when someone does something for you, you feel obligated to return the favor. Manipulators weaponize this ruthlessly. Example 1. The mall trap. You're walking past a kiosk, and someone offers you free hand lotion. They massage it into your hands, chat pleasantly, compliment you. Now you feel guilty walking away without buying something, even though you never asked for the lotion. That's weaponized reciprocity. Example 2. The manipulative friend. They constantly do unsolicited favors, buying you coffee, giving you rides, sending you gifts. Then, when they need something major, they say, "After everything I've done for you, you won't do this one thing for me? Wow, I thought you were a better friend." You feel trapped because they've been keeping score all along, building up a debt ledger to cash in later. Example 3. Free trials. Companies offer free trials, knowing that once you've started using something, you'll feel obligated to continue. They're banking on reciprocity. They gave you something free. Now you owe them by becoming a paying customer. The psychology. Reciprocity is hardwired into human evolution. For thousands of years, reciprocal relationships helped humans survive. I help you today, you help me tomorrow. This created deep psychological discomfort when we receive without giving back. Manipulators exploit this by giving you things you didn't ask for, making sure you know about it, then demanding something much more valuable in return. Protection. Recognize unsolicited gifts as potential manipulation. You don't owe someone just because they did something you didn't request. Evaluate each request independently. Set boundaries. Thanks for the coffee, but I'm not obligated to return favors I didn't ask for. Only 2 left in stock. Limited time offer. This deal expires in 3 hours. You're being manipulated through artificial scarcity and FOMO, fear of missing out. Example 1. Online shopping. You're browsing, and you see, only 3 left at this price. 12 people are viewing this right now. Your heart races. Suddenly you need to buy it immediately, even though 30 seconds ago you were just casually browsing. That urgency? Completely manufactured. Example 2. Concert tickets. Tickets going fast. Don't miss out. The website shows a countdown timer. You panic buy tickets even though you weren't sure you wanted to go. Later you realize the same tickets have been almost sold out for 3 weeks. Example 3. Cryptocurrency and investment scams. Get in now before it's too late. This opportunity won't last. Everyone's making money except you. This creates panic-based decision-making where you invest without proper research because you're terrified of missing out. The psychology. Scarcity triggers loss aversion, a cognitive bias where we fear losing something more than we value gaining it. When something becomes scarce, we want it more, regardless of whether we actually need it. FOMO adds social anxiety, the fear that everyone else is getting something you're not. Together, these create irrational urgency that bypasses logical thinking entirely. Protection. Assume all urgency is artificial until proven otherwise. Sleep on major decisions. Ask yourself, would I want this if it weren't limited? Remember, legitimate opportunities don't require instant decisions. Social proof is the psychological phenomenon where we assume that if lots of people are doing something, it must be correct. Manipulators exploit this constantly. Example 1. Fake reviews. You're choosing between two products. One has 10,000 5-star reviews. The other has 100 reviews. You pick the first one, except half those reviews are fake, bought from review farms. You were manipulated by fabricated social proof. Example 2. The restaurant line. Two restaurants side by side. One has a line out the door, the other is empty. You wait in line for the busy one, assuming it must be better. Plot twist. The owner hired people to stand in line to create artificial social proof. You fell for it. Example 3. Social media influencers. Everyone's using this product. Shows footage of crowds, testimonials, celebrity endorsements. You buy it because surely all these people can't be wrong, except they're all being paid to promote it. The psychology. Humans are tribal creatures. For millennia, following the crowd kept us safe. If everyone's running from something, you run too. You don't stop to analyze why. This instinct still drives behavior today, even when the crowd is manufactured or wrong. Protection. Question why you're being shown social proof. Verify reviews and testimonials independently. Remember, popularity doesn't equal quality. Think for yourself before checking what others think. Authority bias is our tendency to trust and obey authority figures, even when they're wrong. Manipulators use this by creating false authority. Example 1. The white coat effect. Someone in a white lab coat tells you a product is scientifically proven. You trust them. Except they're not a real doctor, and there's no actual science. They just look authoritative. Example 2. Fake credentials. A financial expert on social media gives investment advice. Their bio lists impressive credentials. You follow their advice and lose money. Turns out their credentials were completely fabricated. Example 3. The Milgram experiment. In the famous psychology experiment, people administered what they thought were dangerous electric shocks to others simply because an authority figure in a lab coat told them to. That's how powerful authority bias is. It can make ordinary people do terrible things. The psychology. We're conditioned from childhood to obey authority. Parents, teachers, police, doctors. This usually serves us well, but manipulators exploit it by creating the appearance of authority without actual expertise. Protection. Verify credentials independently. Remember, authority doesn't equal correctness. Question whether the expert has real expertise in the specific area. Trust evidence, not just credentials. Ask, would I agree to the big request if it was asked first? Example 1. The charity call. Would you be willing to wear a small awareness ribbon? Easy. You say yes. A week later. Since you support our cause, would you donate $100? You're more likely to agree because you've already identified as a supporter. Example 2. The demanding friend. Can you give me a ride to the store? Just 10 minutes. You agree. At the store. Can you help me shop? Then, can we stop by 3 other places? What was 10 minutes becomes 3 hours, but you feel committed. Example 3. Free trials to subscriptions. Just sign up for a free month. Once you're using it, they ask for payment info. You're invested. You've set things up, so you agree to pay rather than lose what you've built. The psychology. Humans have a deep need to appear consistent. Once we commit to something small, we feel psychological pressure to act consistently with that commitment. Anchoring is when the first piece of information you receive becomes your reference point for all future judgments, and manipulators use this to control your perception of value. Example 1. Retail pricing. A store shows a jacket with the original price $500 slashed through, now $150. You think you're getting an amazing deal, except the jacket was never actually $500. That fake anchor made $150 seem cheap. Example 2. Salary negotiations. An employer asks, "What's your salary expectation?" If you say $50,000, they'll negotiate down from there. If they say first, "We're thinking $70,000, that becomes your anchor, and you'll negotiate from that higher starting point. Whoever sets the first number controls the negotiation. Example 3. Restaurant menus. The most expensive item on the menu makes everything else seem reasonable by comparison. That $80 steak makes the $35 pasta seem like a bargain, even though the pasta is still overpriced. The psychology. Our brains use the first information as a reference point, and all subsequent judgments are relative to that anchor. Even when the anchor is completely arbitrary or irrelevant, it still affects our thinking. Protection. Research real market values before negotiations. Don't let others set the first number if possible. Ignore original prices in retail. Make independent judgments without reference to anchors. Emotional blackmail is manipulation through guilt, fear, obligation, or shame to control your behavior. Example 1. The guilt trip. After everything I've sacrificed for you, this is how you treat me? I gave up my dreams for you and you can't even do this one thing? They're using your guilt to force compliance. Example 2. The threat of abandonment. If you really loved me, you'd do this. If you don't, I'll know you don't care about this relationship. They're using fear of loss to manipulate you. Example 3. Playing the victim. Every time you set a boundary, they cry, have a breakdown, or claim you're hurting them. You back down because you don't want to cause them pain. Exactly what they're counting on. The psychology. Emotional blackmail works by weaponizing your empathy, love, and sense of responsibility. The manipulator makes you feel that you're responsible for their emotions, and that saying no makes you a bad person. Protection. Recognize that you're not responsible for others' emotions. Setting boundaries doesn't make you selfish. If someone consistently makes you feel guilty for normal behavior, that's manipulation. Pay attention to patterns, not isolated incidents. The silent treatment is emotional manipulation through withdrawal. It's refusing to communicate to punish someone and force them to submit. Example 1. Relationship control. After a disagreement, your partner completely ignores you for days. No explanation, no communication. You become desperate, anxious, willing to apologize for anything just to end the painful silence, even when you did nothing wrong. Example 2. Workplace power play. Your boss stops acknowledging you, excludes you from meetings, ignores your emails. You feel invisible, anxious about your job security. Eventually, you comply with whatever they want, just to be seen again. The psychology. Humans are social creatures. Being ignored triggers the same pain centers in the brain as physical pain. The silent treatment creates anxiety, self-doubt, and desperate need for reconnection. The manipulator knows you'll eventually break and give them what they want. Protection. Don't chase someone giving you the silent treatment. Recognize it as abuse, not a legitimate communication style. Set boundaries. I'm happy to discuss this when you're ready to communicate respectfully. If it's a pattern, consider leaving the relationship. 10. Use their tactics against them. When you recognize a manipulation attempt, call it out. Are you trying to use reciprocity on me right now? Often, exposure is enough to stop them. 1. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Your subconscious picks up on manipulation before your conscious mind does. 2. Slow down decision-making. Manipulators create urgency because they know you'll see through them if you think too long. Sleep on important decisions. 3. Set firm boundaries. No is a complete sentence. You don't need to explain or justify your boundaries. 4. Document everything. With gaslighters, keep records of conversations, agreements, and events. 5. Educate yourself. The more you know about these tactics, the more immune you become. 6. Maintain your support system. Manipulators isolate you. Keep strong connections with trusted friends and family who can reality check situations. 7. Watch for patterns. One incident might be a misunderstanding. Repeated patterns are manipulation. 8. Recognize your vulnerabilities. What makes you susceptible? Desire to please? Fear of conflict? Loneliness? Knowing your weak spots helps you defend them. Here's the truth. Manipulation only works when you don't recognize it. Now that you've seen behind the curtain, now that you understand these psychological tactics, you have the power to protect yourself. You're not a puppet anymore. You're the one holding the strings. Remember, knowledge is your shield, awareness is your weapon, and boundaries are your fortress. The world is full of people who will try to manipulate you, in relationships, in sales, in media, in everyday interactions. But now you can see them coming from a mile away. You can recognize the patterns, call them out, and walk away with your mind intact. Stay aware, stay sharp, and never let anyone control your thoughts, emotions, or decisions ever again. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one.